everybody, and welcome to the Tea Time with Stace podcast. I hope you're ready, because we got a whole lot to talk about today. You know, the first thing I want to say is a very heartfelt and genuine apology. You know, I know we've been gone for so long, and it's like, Stace, you keep talking about the podcast, but, you know, where's the podcast? I mean, you can only talk about it for so long without giving an episode. And I kind of want to talk a little bit about that first. Now, I hate to start the podcast on a low point, but this is a very serious topic and something that I need to get off my chest ASAP. You may notice that, well, I'm kind of a solo gig right now. And, well, it's because of everything that has happened to me within the last few weeks. I've since gotten over this and recovered and feeling a lot better. You know, my memory's still a little shaky, but we're doing okay. However, a big problem is that, well, I don't know where Tony is. I've tried everything. I've tried calling the hospital, calling his phone, calling his friends. I even called his ex-wives, and I hate talking to those people. Really, I do. And they don't even know. Please, if anyone is out there who has information on where Tony might be, please give me a call at 555-8024. This is not scuttlebutt. This is not tea. This is my best friend. And Tony, if you're watching this right now, I miss you. Please come back. Please. On a second note, I want to sincerely apologize to you guys. And this may sound weird, and to some people, they just don't understand it, but I understand it deep in my heart. You know, when I started this podcast, I told people all the time, it was a podcast by the people, from the people, for the people. And, well, since I started it really didn't feel that way. You know, all I did was talk negatively. You know, negative. I talked a whole bunch of crap. And that's not what Scuttlebutt is supposed to be about. You know, drama, tea, those are for the tabloids. But at Tea Time with Stace, we talk Scuttlebutt. Scuttlebutt is something that everyone can laugh at. Even the person we're talking about. Even me. I don't want it to be like that. I'm not TMZ. I'm your local pod. The place where you can trust to talk and get your words out there. Get your story out there. And to all of you out there who have felt wronged, who felt like it wasn't like that, I'm sorry. I really mean that. I'm so sorry. We're gonna do better from now on. I would also like to apologize for the lack of podcast content. I mean, we can't call ourselves a podcast and only have 2 episodes. I mean, what the hell is that? You know I've done some ASMR content, and don't you worry, that stuff is definitely not going away. But Tea Time with Stace is a podcast, and you are going to see way more out of us. As I always like to say, I'm always working. But after everything that happened, the stalkers, the going to the hospital, the recovery, it took a lot out of me. I needed time. Time to heal. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. Get back on my feet, and, well, I'm definitely there now. Now I know talk is cheap, and the only way to truly apologize is with your actions. I want to start this right here, right now, on episode 2. I said from the very beginning that I wanted to help our local businesses, give promotion to those who deserve it, and we will be doing this right here, right now, on episode 2. But before we get into that, I want to catch up on a few things on my life. Let's be honest, it's been a while, folks. I mean, I haven't talked to you in ages, and I want to update you on a few things going on in my life. Now, I know we haven't done a podcast in a while, but I want to reassure you that we've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. When I say a lot, I mean a lot, buddy. I mean, I'm always working as I stay. Stacy, he's always working. The first thing I've been doing is trying to work with our local businesses so that I can perform on stage for you guys. I don't always want the podcast to be this recorded thing. I want it to be something that you can be there, experience, and have fun doing. I feel like I'm always my best when I'm around people. And being behind a camera is great and all, but I want to see you folks. That's coming very, very soon. I want to announce that I've been working very closely with places like Casey's Diner, Dragon Entertainment, and even Tequila La to perform live for you on stage, something that you guys can be a part of. I want to have shows such as dating shows, game shows, places where you guys can get up on stage and show what you got, even things like Battle of the Bands. If any of this sounds interesting to you, please give us a call at 555-8024. I'm always picking up my phone, so don't be shy. All right, now that I got the housekeeping done. Housekeeping, you know what I'm talking about? Anyways, let's talk a bit of scuttlebutt. I've had some interesting things happen the last couple days, and I would love to share it with you guys. All right, take a look at this picture. Beautiful bike, I know. That is my Debbie, a Pink Fagio. I got it with my manager, Sage, and I am in love with it. Let me tell you, I love this thing. Well, I loved it for the whole 10 minutes I had it. Here I am enjoying my time at the beach, and I thought to myself, wow, I'm safe. I'm comfortable. Let's go do some meditation down by the beach. And then all of a sudden, wham! A criminal comes by, rams right into it, and it explodes. I lost the damn thing within the first 10 minutes. Yeah, I watched it in flames. I won't lie, I cried for nearly 10 minutes, but I'm hoping there's a mechanic that can fix it, so if you're out there, give me a call, cause, I got to enjoy it for like 5 minutes, and I would sure appreciate if I could enjoy it a bit more. When I tell you I got a whole mile on it, I mean literally a whole mile. As in 1 mile on the pedometer. In other scuttlebutt, some of you may have noticed that the DOJ has changed a few things about how we own property. I know a lot is going on right now, but trust me, I think this is going to be a great thing for the city. I want to talk about my producer, Sage. Now, if you're familiar with Sage's stuff, it's a business she's been running to sell furniture and whatnot. Now, a big problem she's had is getting a place to actually call her own. A shop, you know what I mean? Like you go out there, you pick your spot, and you sell some stuff. And, well, there's been a lot of issues with the police because, well, they shut you down. You know, you don't have rights to be somewhere, they give you a ticket. You know, you sneeze and you forget to say gesundheit, they give you a ticket. You know how it is. I mean, just take a look at this building. Beautiful, well-crafted, well-organized, and you can see all the furniture that is for sale. And at great prices. And trust me, that's not just coming from me, that's coming from many other people. So please, folks, give this new rule a chance. I'm telling you, you can have wonderful places if you give it some time. I believe this takes effect on February 22nd. So let's give our city a shout, and let's be positive, folks. Now, if some of you guys have been keeping up with socials, you know I've had a little, I've been calling it an incident. I've had some issues with stalkers in the past, but this was by far one of the worst, and unfortunately, I ended up in the hospital. Now, don't worry, I'm doing great. I'm healing fantastic, and I'm feeling a lot better, past some memory issues, but I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to talk about one of the fallouts of this. Now, I know I describe scuttlebutt as something that everyone can laugh at, but every now and again I get some scuttlebutt that's just hurtful, and I really need to air this out today. Now, I won't name names, but on the day that it happened, my incident, I was on a date, and it was wonderful. I mean, wonderful enough that I remember it almost entirely. It was so great. On the beach, and it even turned into a double date with Tony at one point. It was amazing. I haven't had an experience like that in a long time. Unfortunately, it ended really poorly. Well, the night of my little incident, I ended up in the hospital, and, well, it took me some time to wake up and get surgery. And thankfully for my mother, who I told to never do this again, she posted on socials for me to explain what had happened. And, well, the person that I'm speaking of, my ex, I'll call her, she knew I was in the hospital. And, well, after everything she knew I was going through, she started talking to other men. And I understand I took time to recover and get back, and get on my feet, but like, God, you know I'm in the hospital. You go out and talk to other dudes when I'm in the hospital? I mean, what is that all about? Sorry, I had to take a break for a second. I get a little upset talking about this. Anyways, you know, my mother, she put out something on socials letting everyone know that I was in the hospital, and, well, I guess I'll call her my ex at this point. She knew about it, and, well, I don't understand. Like, you know I'm in the hospital, you know I'm hurt, you know I'm barely hanging on to life. How do you move on so fast? And the things that were said, I mean, I don't know, I thought she liked me, and I've just felt really hurt about it. Anywho, I'm single on the market now, so I am trying to focus on my business, but if there's any ladies out there who are interested, you could give me a call at 555-8024, and maybe we could chat sometime. Anywho, I appreciate you guys listening to me. It's been a long week, and, you know, trying to get through all of this with Heartbreak on top of it has just been a lot. Alright, you know I love to plug the podcast, but this is very important to me. If you're enjoying the show today and you're thinking to yourself, hey, I got some scuttlebutt I want to share on the pod, this is the time for you. Please, give me a call at 555-8024 and share your story on the podcast. As I always like to say, this is a podcast by the people, for the people, from the people. And you, my friend, listening to this, are people. Give us a call. We'd love to hear your story. Alright, folks, this next segment is a segment you'll be hearing many times going on in the future. This is called the Scuttlebutt Spotlight! Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, Stace, what the hell is the Scuttlebutt Spotlight? This is something I want to do on every episode, where we really focus on a very specific topic. Now, as I said earlier in this episode, I really want to give back to you folks. And the biggest people I want to give back to are the local businesses. During my little leave of absence, I've been going around to many of the local businesses, restaurants, and those sort of things, and giving my intake and review. And let me tell you, I'm so happy that I did. I've learned so much about you beautiful people. And in the meantime, I actually even got a job at one of them. Let's talk all about it here on the Tea Time with Stace podcast. Now, today we talked about one of my first heartbreaks in the city, but let me tell you about one of my first loves here as well. It is a place called Casey's Diner. Let me tell you something, folks. Atmosphere is not a big enough word to describe this place. Now, I won't lie to you. When I went first to go visit this place, I had 100% decided to go there for 5 minutes, offer my advertising, and move on. Let me tell you something, folks. 5 minutes it turned into 3 hours. I'm not even exaggerating. 3 hours I spent there. 3 hours. I love this place so much, and there is so much I could say about it. Gosh, where do I begin? I mean, let's start with the food. Right? You walk in there, and it's just a warm hug. The aroma, the food they have there is beautiful. Now, I will be honest, I'm not a fan of fish, and they do sell fish there, but if you're into that kind of thing, they have it. But my God, the food that I had, beautiful. Floats, pancakes, burgers. I mean, it was soul food through and through. The owners of the place, let me tell you, a beautiful mentality and beautiful people. Now, I will admit, I didn't get a chance to meet Fargo, who's one of the owners, but I did get to meet Blair, who is also known as Daddy. So if you go there and you ordered the Daddy Happy Meal, you know why. It's because of her. It's named after her. It's safe to say I really loved this place. In fact, I loved it so much, I asked to get a job there, and good news, I'm officially working there. So if you head over to Casey's Diner, expect to see me behind the counter from time to time. And while you're there enjoying the warm hug of atmosphere and food, check the upstairs on the roof. They got a beautiful stage up there that you may have me, yours truly, performing up there. So, Casey's, we give a 10 out of 10. Maybe even 11 out of 10. And I don't say that lightly. Trust me, it's worth the drive up there. You won't be disappointed. Now that we're done with talking about Casey's, let's talk about my second love, Arribas. I'll tell you what, I went over there and I had already heard many great things about it, and I had expected spicy when I walked in there, but instead, I got the beautiful aroma of something that was just warm, lighthearted, inviting. I tell you, I really didn't want to leave when I walked in there. The place is owned by someone named Mia Dawson, and let me tell you, she's a great owner. Not only did she offer me her time, the food, and just a warm conversation, she loved talking to me. And believe me, I know I can be a lot to deal with. As I say, a professional yapper by trade. I could go on for hours. But it never felt like she wanted me to leave, and I really appreciated that. If I could best describe the atmosphere of Arribas, it felt like I was coming home to Grandma's house. And I love my grandmother, let me tell you. Now, speaking of my grandmother, let's talk about the food I got there. Now, if I would recommend something to you, I would recommend the Arribas Special, which is what I got while trying stuff there. You get a little bit of everything. A burrito, desserts like churros, a drink, and yes, people, they sell alcohol, so you want your tequila, you go over there and get yourself a drink. But the best thing of all that I got from there was a warm cup of conversation straight from Mia and someone behind the counter named Alex. Mia, Alex, if you're listening to this, thank you so much. You made my experience feel so welcoming. And to all of you watching here, I highly recommend you go try their food and be in their company. They get a straight 10 out of 10. And before you go, I highly recommend checking the art gallery they have outside. You could chill, relax, even go on a date if you'd like. I mean, hey ladies, if you're out there, I'll take you to Arribas. 555-8024, please. Give me a call, I'm desperate. Anyways, let's change the topic. I don't want to talk about dating anymore. If you are a local business who's liking to get your business out there, please give me a call for hiring promotion at 555-8024. And don't you worry, as long as you're there to be there and have my time and I get to enjoy the place, I'll say nice things about it. Alrighty folks, we're all out of time for today. But listen, if you would like to get your story out on the podcast, please give us a call at 555-8024. I truly mean it from the bottom of my heart. We would love to talk about your story here on Tea Time with Stace, a podcast by the people, for the people, from the people. And I will see you guys next time. Alright, tails! On the flip. Damn it, it was heads. Alright, I'll see you next time!